Welcome back to PSY's Tech Bytes. Today I want to talk with you about how you can download file content using Microsoft Graph in a client-side JavaScript-based or TypeScript-based solution. In fact, in Microsoft Graph, we have the capability to get an item from a OneDrive folder or from a SharePoint Online folder, and we can use the content endpoint to get access to the actual content of that file. What happens under the cover of the content request is that you will get back a 302 redirect response, which in the location header will have the actual URL of the content that you want to download. Unfortunately, this approach doesn't work in a client-side solution like SharePoint Framework or any other JavaScript or TypeScript-based solution because of coarse settings. In order to work around this issue or this problem, you can use another attribute of the item, of the drive item that you can download using Graph, and using that property, which is the @microsoft.graph.download URL, you can get access to the actual content of your file without having any coarse issues. So let me show you how to do that in practice using a SharePoint Framework client-side web part. So this is the get drive item endpoint that you have in the Microsoft Graph whenever you want to get access to a file item in OneDrive or SharePoint Online. And you can access the content of your item using the download file section, in which you can see you can make a request for /content to access that specific file. You will get back as a response a 302 answer with a location, which will be the actual location of the file, including a unique access token, which will allow you to access the target file for a few minutes, just for the sake of having access to the binary content of that file. If you use this action, this capability in a client-side solution, like for example a SharePoint Framework web part, you will fail with a coarse related issue. Luckily, there is a nice article on the web on the Office OneDrive Dev Center, in which you can see how to work around this issue. And the way to work around it is to get access to the Microsoft.graph.download URL property of the item that you get from the Microsoft Graph. So let me show you in practice a client-side web part in which I can simply use the functionality to get the content of an image file that I have, for example, in my OneDrive, this image, which is under the images folder of my OneDrive personal folder. So I can simply say, give me images / the name of the file that I want to download, and I can get access to the content of the file. How does it work? Well, this is my client-side web part. Actually, this is my client-side web part, and I use the Graph Client object, an instance of MS Graph Client object that I initialize in the onInit method, and which I provide as an input argument to the download image React component that I have in my solution. In the download image React component, what I do is to have a text field to get the relative URL of the file that I want to download. And whenever I click on the download button, I will go to the download function, which will simply use the graph client that I get from the hosting web part, and I make a request for /me/drive/root, so that I will access the root folder of my personal OneDrive, followed by the relative URL of the file that I want to access. By doing a GET request for this URL, I will get back a bunch of information, including the @microsoft.graph.download URL for the file that I want to download. And I will simply place this value into a state variable, which will be used to render an img element in the HTML output of my React component. And that's it. Really simple. You simply need to remember that you have to make a request using Graph for the target file that you want to download or render, and then you will get back from the response the actual URL of the content of your file. And that's it. As usual, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.